Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome back to my Sekiro Let's Play, Episode 3. And just to clarify for the end of Episode 2, the reason I kept running and talking to the sculptor over and over is I was hoping that, for an instant of hope, that he would give me the skill book to learn Mikiri counter, but unfortunately he did not. And so we're going to have to go forward, get some skill points, and then at some point we'll end up back there, and he'll finally give it to us.
お主、フクロウのせがれか。何があった？賊どもが平田屋敷に巫女様を急ぐのじゃ。今は幾年だ？何をおかしな。教えてくれ。流泉詣での年であろう。流泉詣3年前か。どういうことだ。武士殿は古い記憶と言った。何も覚えてはおらぬが、これは過去ということか。
So, much as Sekiro has just discovered, we are indeed in the past, reliving an old memory. What could it mean? We don't know, but we're going to figure it out. Because, if you're not aware, Sekiro, from the get-go, can't really remember much of what's going on in his life. And we're going to run through and we're going to figure out what exactly happened 3 years ago that led to our memory loss. Hopefully. Ideally. As mentioned in the previous episode again, the beginning is going to be the hardest for us. I said that earlier, obviously. But the reason I'm saying that is because it's just going to be a bit of an ordeal with a lot of, bouncing back and forth. I do apologize for it, but it is one of those situations where the game is a lot smoother if you do have certain items. So we're essentially coming to the Hirata state just to pick up the Shinobi prosthetic so that we can then beat the ogre more easily, as well as getting ourselves Mikiri counter so that we can deal with the Shinobi hunter who we'll deal with later. But for now we're going to run into this weird lake. Now I did mention we will kind of talk to NPCs, which we will obviously because we want to show off the story, but we're not going to finish this guy's plotline either, just because the way to complete it is to get all of these treasure scarp scales and buy up his entire inventory, essentially. And I don't want to go scraping around the world for a whole bunch of treasure carp scales when I don't really need what he has. Yeah, so pretty much all the stuff that they actually have here is not really worth our time or effort. The withered gourds are actually a really useful item. I personally consider the one that combats terror, so the purple gourd, is the most useful of all of them. Unfortunately, I believe it's something like 1800 sen, and I don't think I'm going to have that at any point because I will be spending all of my sen on gourd seeds and whatnot. But that's okay. I will talk more about those merchants though when we get to the part where they become relevant, which is way later in the game, right near the end. So here we go. We're running around our estate, and we're just gonna murder everyone under the sun because we're super sneaky like that. You'll also notice in that top right corner that's our leveling bar. I believe that this is the thing where we need to at least get 1 point going in order to have access to skill points and have the sculptor give us the thing. I don't know if that's actually true. I just feel like that's the case, because it's better than some arbitrary measure in order to get it, but I've never actually tested it. I'm sure Google could tell me, but well, that sounds like work. But yeah, so we're just going to travel through here. The nice thing about the Hirata state, if you are not aware, and you just want to kind of rush through and not deal with anything, This is a place where I'm going to get essentially all the prosthetics that I'm ever going to use. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to get the flame one for the ogre, but the other one that I do like having on hand, even though I very rarely use it, is going to be the axe, because you can use the axe in order to break shields, and shields are probably the most annoying thing in this entire game. So just having access to that is going to be extremely useful. Running, 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 running. Yeah, if you're unaware, 3 years ago, a bunch of bandits came and attacked the Hirata state, which is our home, and it's the place where Kuro was being, well, where he was living. I almost said being kept, which is kind of true, but at this point, this is where he's living. And for some reason, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, all of our young soldiers are gone. They have gone off to do something important. We're not sure what, but it was coincidentally the perfect opportunity to have these bandits come and attack our estate and essentially kill everyone. Could there be ulterior motives? Maybe. Let's find out. Spoilers, yes, there are ulterior motives. It's not just random. So that was the amazing, very inconsistent death from above attack, as I'm going to call it. I'm not a fan of how they implemented it in this game. For a game that focuses so much on tight combat, it's kind of awkward when your death from above attack, which is implemented really well in some games like Shadow of War, for instance. I think maybe the Batman games, don't quote me on that. But they're really good at, targeting an enemy and then just having them do like your one-shot kill. Also, that was me picking up the Shinobi prosthetic for flames there, which is very important. But the thing I found with Sekiro is that if you don't press that button right when the red's there, even if you're still directly above them, it won't trigger. And a lot of the times the red button won't trigger. There is a boss near the end of the game where essentially the optimal way to beat him is to do death from above attacks, but I've had many instances where I've jumped to do that and it just hasn't shown up. And then I just kind of land there awkwardly beside them and I'm like, well, it should have ended well, but it didn't. Wow, so that guy's really angry in death. But, I mean, I guess that makes sense if you're dying, you just wanting to get revenge on them. You'll notice that he does talk to you about the axe prosthetic. And here we learn something very important. Oh, there's that red dot not working for me, thank you very much. But, I don't really, I guess it's kind of religion. I'd consider it more spirituality is a very big focus in this game. Not like that they bash you over the head over it, but like the mythology of it all is central to the plot. And we'll discuss that as we reach more important areas like, for example, the Senpo Temple and whatnot. But there I did pick up the axe, which is very important. And sorry about that look backwards, I was paranoid that an enemy was going to come up behind me, because the worst thing that can happen is you trying to listen to a conversation only to have an enemy come and just smash you from behind. So we're just going to open this gate. It opens up a bit of a shortcut. It tries to play off very much like original Dark Souls, where, you'd open up shortcuts to lead back to initial bonfires. It doesn't really work super well in Sekiro. They kind of give up later on. There are a few shortcuts here and there, but most of them are useless and pointless, and oh my god, these roosters are the literal worst. Oh my, ow. I'm sorry. Leave me alone, please. But yeah, shortcuts aren't really very prevalent in this game. Most of the time you're just going to end up going forward and coming across another sculpting idol. Is that what they're called in this game? I'll probably still just call them bonfires. You know what they are. You know what I mean. So yeah, it's odd that I think that they started with the level design trying to, you know, set up, oh, we'll make these amazing shortcuts and it'll be great just like in the original game, but then as they progressed with making the game, they were like, actually, it's not working out super great. Let's just have it more linear. And I don't mind that. I mean, I do appreciate the level design in Dark Souls where everything's connected, but for a game like Sekiro that's more focused...
Shinobi 何か探し物でもまあ何にせよここはあっしが先に見つけた場所でさよそを漁ってくださいああそういえばどっかの崖上に三重の塔が見えやしたぜあんだけご立派な塔だきっと中にはお宝がしまわれてるに違いねえあっしならそう思いやすね
But yeah, it's more focused, and I'm fine with that. You'll notice there, that looter is the merchant that we talked to in the previous episode. You'll recall the merchant mentioning that he recognized us and that we'd met 3 years ago and we couldn't remember. Well, there he is. Also, he does give us a hint about some item existing near a pagoda. Also, it's probably very smart to not open the gate for these guys, because so far they've murdered everybody, so good on these people behind the gate. But as I was saying, it does give us a hint with the pagoda. It has a Shinobi prosthetic there. I am going to go get it. I'm not going to use it, but it's nice to show it off.
誰ですか?
族ではない。
あなたは若様の。あ、よかった。忍殿、族どもの目的は若様です。あやつらはすでに竹林坂上にいたり、お屋敷に火をかけています。若様の脱出も叶わなかったご様子。お願いです、忍殿。若様をお救いください。これをあなたに託します。どうかお役立てを。
承知。
どうか動かないでください。傷に触ります。
いや、行かねばならぬ。族どもの中に忍びなりの僧兵が混ざっている。あれは手だれよ。どうしても私が行かねば。
ああ、無理です。この傷ではとても。
お主、若様の忍びじゃな。ああ、肝心な時におらぬとんだ役立たずめ。いや、もしやお主賊を手引いたのではあるまいな。さもなくばこの平田屋敷がこうもあっけなく落ちようものか。そうよ、そうに違いないわ。いねえ。
So here we just got a lot of story content delivered straight to us. Spoilers, that eavesdrop that we did is ourself in the past talking to Emma, and we are injured. I will find it odd. This is the introduction for the Shinobi Hunter, which is the one mini-boss that we're going to have trouble with, most likely. Also, see those guys there with shields? Bit of a problem. So before we go deal with that, we're just going to run all the way back. Kind of sucks, but luckily we opened the shortcut and we're gonna rest to reset our gourds. But as I was saying previously, you'd think that it'd be something like rock, paper, scissors, where it's like Shinobi Hunter kills Shinobi, Shinobi kills Samurai, Samurai kills Shinobi Hunter, or something like that. It seems a bit odd to me that us being a shinobi is like, there's a shinobi hunter out there, he's highly skilled, so me, a shinobi, must go out there to fight him. It's like, no, that shouldn't be how it works. He spends all his time hunting people exactly like you down, so why would you have a chance? But well, we're gonna ignore that little tidbit. But yeah, so essentially what we discovered is that for some reason they're after Kuro, because again, everyone is always after Kuro. Every single time. Something, 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 Kuro. And while one lady is like, thank God you're here, people are becoming extremely paranoid. That man thought we were a traitor, thought that it was, you know, the convenience of this attack must mean that there's a traitor among us, and we must therefore be said traitor. So here's the Shinobi Hunter. You can't see him. I can barely see him, but he's there, and that's the important bit. So the first thing we're going to try to do is, because we're hiding in the grass, we're going to try to backstab him to get rid of one of his health bars. And we succeed, because we're great. And that's where it tells you... This is my one issue with the game, because, again, there's no way to know where you should be. So at some point, we should have, obviously, gone back and talked to Sculptor again. But we have no way of knowing that, you know. What this creates is a situation where we reach the Shinobi Hunter and we get, you know, a tutorial message saying, you should be countering his thrust attacks. And I end up sitting there going, I can't do that, like I know this now. I can't stop his, oh, we traded there. If I had just lived that little bit, I could have killed him. Ah, well, unfortunate. And I think we're being teleported back now. Nope, I lied. Instead, we're just gonna have to go back ourselves, I think. Yeah. So at this point, I know I have skill points on my bar. I have now hard wall. There's a hard wall in front of me with the Shinobi Hunter, and I'm just gonna go there and talk to Sculptor, and hopefully this time he should give me the book to learn Mikiri counter. But again, the average person, if they've been playing, and I assume they'll play as I have, where, you know, you get hard capped by the, or you hit the wall from the ogre.
なんお前さ、勘が戻ってきたようじゃな。ちっとは忍びらしくなってきたように見える。とっておきな。これは忍びの技じゃ。侍には真似できぬ。忍びの戦う術が書いてある。まあ、どうするかは。お前さん次第よ。戦う術など、忍びだけでもあるまいて。戻ったか。
あれは、夢なのか、それとも誠にあったことなのか。
さてな、夢かうつつか、わしにも定かなことはわからん。一つ言えるのは、仏様は、お前さんの古い記憶を起こしてくださっているだけじゃ。お前さんがどう思い、どう覚えていたか、すべてはそれ次第じゃ。
見るものすべてが正しく起こったことかはわからぬ。
そういうことじゃ。その忍び義手、随分と腕に馴染んできたようじゃな。お前さん、これを取っておきな。
これは
お前さんの牙でどう噛み殺すか、それが書いてある。要は、忍び義手を使った戦いの術じゃな。
わかった。
まったく、義手の忍び技など、もはや無用と思っておったが、わからんものよな。ではな、また、久し。
But yeah, so you hit a wall at the ogre, you hit a wall at Shinobi Hunter, and you don't know how you're supposed to get the things that you need to progress. But luckily we're done that. We can now go forward and just start destroying the game, and we're all set up. So I'll see you in the next one, and we're just going to start winning. Because I'm going to grab my Kiri counter, and now I'm good for the rest of the game. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.